In this tutorial, I will show you how you can create a design system from scratch using Figma and Figma Variables. We'll talk about design tokens, what are design tokens, and how to create design tokens inside of Figma, how to create a scalable design system for your project. Currently, it's really important to create design systems for your projects because if you're using MCP servers like Figma MCP connected to Cursor to create your websites, for example, or your apps, it's really important for these AI services to understand how your design is structured. And in order to have excellent results, you need to have a design system properly set up with variables that the AI will understand. For example, what kind of colors are used, how they're used, where they're used, and how you set up like typography and all of those things, and especially outer layouts. And design system with design tokens will help you structure your designs and will help you create your designs even faster and easier. Hi, my name is Sergey. Welcome to my channel. And now, without further ado, let's create a design system from scratch. Okay, so I prepared the file already. Here we have the colors that we're going to be using and we're going to be using for building our design system, our design tokens. And here I have a small guide that will help me and you understand the structure of the design system that we are building. We're going to have 3 collections. You can have more. In this video, I'll show you how I do design system, how I make them with just 3 collections. And for me, this is easy and it's enough for most of the projects. And we're talking about like multi-pages websites. Currently, I will be building an app. So I need a design system for it, and it's not going to be something over complicated. And for most of the websites, you're going to have this, and this will be enough. If you're planning to work on something really large, like really scale it up, you can do it later on. So basically, this is going to be your like the beginning of your design system, and then you can scale it up and multiply it by different collections and add stuff. But this is like the base, let's call it like the base for any design system that you can do. And for the collections, we'll have the base, aliases, and I use typography as a different collection, like an extra collection for it. But let's start with colors. And again, if you want to follow along with me, you can get this file from the description below. I will save the link there, and you can use this guide as well for yourself. Okay, so for the colors, what we need to do, we need to set up a color scheme, which is going to be like the shades of the colors. We're going to go from lighter to darker shade. I'm sure you saw this in other projects or some design systems if you looked over the internet. I have my own way of doing it. I think it's really easy. Maybe someone else is doing it as well, and I'll show you this life hack how to do it. We'll start with the primary color. Again, these 3 colors are primary colors, the main colors of the brand that I'm going to be building the app for. So that's why I will be using them as primary colors. In your project, probably you will have something different because it all depends on the brand book. You may have different colors. So for example, if you're doing something for, I don't know, let's say PayPal, you'll have like blue colors as the main one, right? Or Airbnb, probably pink or something like that. In any case, in my project, I'll have this red as the main color of the logo, also black, and I will have this gray color. But black and gray will be my neutral colors. They will be like in the neutral section for color schemes, but I will have black like separate. But wait a few minutes for it and I'll show you how it works. So we'll start with the red one. I'll just drag and drop it over here. Using my Option key, I copy it and I will create a frame. So I create a frame here, something like this. It's going to be like a longer one. I will need to have another copy here and another one over here. And this one, it's going to be the colors that we'll be creating, like on the left. This is going to be my scheme here. And I will need to create 8 more copies of this square. So basically I'll need to have 4 on top and 4 on the bottom. Like so. And altogether it's going to be 9. Why 9? Just wait a few minutes and I'll show you. Let's just, yeah, like this. Actually, we can set it up in auto layout if you want. Shift A to create an auto layout. Perfect. It's 40 pixels between them. So this is going to be like the first color. So the center one is the main color that we used, right? So this is the one that we're using, and we'll be using it to build the rest of the scheme. What are we going to do on the right? Well, basically on the right, I need to add another rectangle like this, and I need to make it black. And now I'll move it down like this. Yep. And actually I can make another black color over here just to make it easier for us to see what's going to happen. Yep. It's going to be under my auto layout like this. Oh, it doesn't really matter how it looks right now. Okay. In order to make the shades of the color, probably you're thinking of using opacity. Partly you're correct, but the problem is that when you're using opacity, you will have this opacity value in your color, but we don't want to use it. We want the color to be 100% opacity all the time, and to have that, we'll be changing the opacity over here on the right, and then using the inspector tool, we'll apply it to the left color. So let's see how it works. So basically this is the main color, and now we'll go to the darker ones, right? So we see it 100 over here, and I will make a step in 10% or 20%. So this is going to be my 80%. You see, this is the 80. What I want to do, I want to select this color holding my command or control on Windows. Then I used I to get this inspector, and I just copy this color, right? So this one, you see, it's already darker. Then I go back to this color and I move down again by 20%. Choose the top rectangle. Again, eyedropper, not the inspector, it's from the web. Eyedropper, so that's why I'm collecting the color, taking it, sampling it, and going back again here. And now I go to 40%. You see, it's on the black. So this is very important, on the black color. And again, copy the color. And the last one should be 20. But this one's going to be like really dark. So probably we'll have something like 30. And then we'll copy it over here. Yep. And when I remove the black, you'll see nice shades, right? So this is really good. Next, as you understand, we're gonna have the same thing for the white. So I select the bottom rectangle and I go to -80, and I just copy it over here like this, and then I go to 60%, and for the next one, this one's gonna be 40. Yep, like this. And the last one is going to be 20. Yeah, really light. So the first one is ready. So we see like the first shade for the first color is ready. Basically, the second thing we need to do is we need to do the same exactly thing for all of the colors. So that's why I'll need to copy it here. And I'll make a copy of the color here and here again. And now what I want to do, I just want to, like duplicate this and select the color in the center. Yep. And now I will just make it quicker. So this is going to be my top color, and this is going to be my bottom color. So basically, again, I'm going down in opacity by 20%. If you don't want to wait, you can skip the video, or I will just make it quicker because this takes a lot of time. So I'll fast forward at this moment. All right, so this is it. I made all of the shades for the colors. We don't need this anymore. And we only will need these things. All right. So this is ready. So we're going to be using this to create design tokens, exactly the color tokens, and we'll apply them later for the aliases, and we'll be using them in the design later on. So the next step is to create variables. Now let's see how it works. We go to this variables section over here, and we press this little icon. And now we need to create collections. So I create a collection, and the first one is going to be just color. So I press color. Here we see collection number 1, all variables. And if we look back at my guide, we'll see that we'll be creating a base collection. So I'll rename it to base. You can call it whatever you want, so it doesn't matter. And now we'll have a group inside of this base collection, which will be called color. And inside of the color, we'll actually create all of these variables, all of these like tokens at the first level tokens. This is very important. Some of the things may take time just because you need to create all of these things, and it may take like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or an hour. But again, at the end, it will save you a lot of time when you're going to be working on the project. And actually, you can, if you create this design system, you can use it for your other projects as well. Just copy it, so you don't have to create it every time. Because to tell you the truth, most of the things here that we're going to be using, especially like the scales, like the spacing numbers and all those things, they will be the same at most of the projects. Like, I don't know, like 95% of your projects, you'll be using the same numbers. All right, so let's create our first color, and I'll show you how it works. Basically, what we need to do now, we need to make duplicates of this color, of this variable, I'm sorry. So to do that, I can just copy and paste over here, but it doesn't work. So let's try to, press duplicate, right? So we duplicate it like this, and we need to create 9 duplicates, as you may understand. And one more, and right here. All right, so it's 9. We'll be using the system of the 100 value. I believe it's used in the Tailwind CSS. And it's really easy to understand once you begin to use it. So the lightest one is going to be 100, and the darkest one is going to be 900, and the middle one is going to be 500 value. These are going to be the names of the colors. And then if you want to have something a little bit darker than this, for example, and this is a 300, you add you make it dark a little bit, but it's going to be lighter than the 400, so it's going to be like 350, for example. So it's really easy to understand. This is the system everyone works with, basically, all of the designers, so you just need to stick to it and understand and just remember it. So I'll rename all of these colors, all these variables right now, and then we'll apply all the colors. So this is going to be 700, and this is going to be 800, and this is going to be 900, like this. Now we go to the value, we select the value, we select the eyedropper, and now we need to, just copy the colors to our values. You see, they have the hex code. This is because they're using this. This is going to look like the first level of our design token, and later on we'll add aliases, and we'll rename them, of course, to actually what we need, like the number of the names that we're going to be using, we'll be using later in our project. So we just need to copy this. And the last one is the 900. All right. So as you can see, I have this color scheme ready. Now I need to select everything with here. So I'm holding my shift and I click on the last one and the first one, right click here. And now I need to create a new group with selection. I create a group and now I will call it color. And here I will need to create a new group and I will call it red, just the name of this color. So I have the color. This is like the collection inside of the base, and I have the color red with all the variables over here, right? So this is our first first part of the our design system, our design collection. Next, what we need to do, we need to create things for the same things for the other colors. So to make it easier, you just select all of them with the shift and you click copy. And now you need to go, for example, to color and create new variable like this. And here you just paste like so. You can delete this color over here, just delete variable. And now you need to select all of these colors again. You see these are in red and these are just like inside of the collection, or inside of the color. And again, create new group, and we'll call it neutrals or neutral. And now we'll copy the colors. So we go to, again, from the lighter to darker, like so. $500. $8, and the last one is 900. All right, 900. And here I want to add two more colors. I'll add white and I'll add black. Oops. The white is going to be on top and black is going to be over here. So this is like the black one. All right, great. So we have color, red, neutral. Again, going back to color, create new variable, select all of the red ones, copy, and here we click paste. Delete this one, color. Now again, select all of the colors that color variables that you have selected, and you select create a new group of selection, and here we'll call it purple. And now we repeat the same thing. We just go here and we sample all the colors like so. It takes time, so I will fast forward right now so you don't have to waste your time watching me doing all these things. So see you later. All right, and this is the last one. So I've created all of these colors here. So we have a collection color. And in the color, we have like groups named by color, right? So we have all of these things over here. Great. So this is the base, and now we'll need to create aliases for these colors. We're not going to go right now to the next parts of the base collection. I just want to finish with the colors. So the next step will be is to create aliases. And how we're going to do it, we'll create a new collection, and we'll call it aliases. Again, you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It's just for you and for the client if you're doing this work for a client, because actually like creating design system like this can be like a service, and actually we sell the service with my team. So this is a business idea for you to think of. And now what we need to do, we need to create aliases for the different things we're going to be using colors for. And we'll have text, we'll have surface, we'll have icons, borders, and not for the spacing right now. So we'll stick to these ones. So we'll create a text first, then we'll go to the next one. So currently I will use again color, and I'll make a group right away. So I'll create a group, and it's going to be called text. All right, and in the text we'll have another group, and this one is going to be called headings. Headings, right, like this. And in the headings we'll be using again the same colors that we had over here, but again it depends on what kind of colors they're going to be using for the headings. I think in my case, in my project, I will be using only neutrals for the headings, and I will copy them right now. So I'll copy this. So I'll select. I just went back to base collection, and the neutrals. I click copy, and now I go back to aliases. I select heading, and here I paste these colors over here. I'll delete the first one. And now I will need to link these colors to the base collection, right? So I click on the color here, I go to libraries, and here I will find my base collection and with neutrals. And now I'll go to right here. You see color? Oops. Sorry about that. Color and white. You see color neutral white. And you see I'm adding this token, design token, to this value, white, inside of the heading. And it is connected to the base collection. So I'll need to do all of these things over here. So I'll need to find neutrals, and I'll need to connect them, like so. All right, so I connected them. The next thing is to create, of course, body, and we'll again copy this. We'll copy and we create a new variable, paste it here, and we'll delete this, of course, and we'll connect this to a new group, and we'll call it body. And basically we already have everything set up, so we'll have this and this. These are like two different things. We can also create a top level group here, so we can create another group. Let's make it this way. We'll create color and create a group, and it's going to be like on top, and this one is going to be called color. And we'll move the text with all of these things inside of the color. So this is much better. So we have color, text, heading. Then what we need to do, we need to create links, right? So let me just delete this variable inside of the color collection, and we'll create a new one. And for the links, I'm thinking that probably they're going to be using the red color, right? So I'll just copy red and make a copy and go to aliases, and I create a new color, a new variable. And here I need to paste all of these things. This one I delete, and I'll make a group, create a group, and I'll call it link. And for the links, they're going to be right here. I need to move them. For the link, I will be using my primary color, this one. This is the main color, the 500. So I will need to delete all of these variables. And in the darker version, I might use something else. But currently we're using only one mode, only for the light version of the website. So I'll delete all of these things. and I'll only have the link colors. So I will choose the 500 from the red, from the color collection, from this one, from the base. Okay, and here we'll call it a default. Okay, and now I need to duplicate it. And here I will call hover. Rename it to hover. And now I will change it to, for example, 600. Okay. I can have it like in a different collection, but let's keep things simple. And for the body, again, we can choose what kind of colors that we're going to be using for the body. So, for example, I'll be using 800 for the body, and I can delete all of these things again. I will delete variables, and I'll be using only 800 or 900, doesn't really matter. Let's delete black and use only 900 and or white. It doesn't matter if we're gonna have like a darker background. We'll be using white color. So this is gonna be my default. All right, so this is for the body, and for the headings, same thing. Well, currently I have all these set up, but we'll keep it for now. All right. The next thing, what we want to do, we want to make disabled text, and we'll add another variable, and this one is going to be disabled. Oh, hold on. We need to create a new group, and this group is going to be disabled. We'll move it up right here, and here we'll need to create a disabled default, and we'll link it to our base neutrals. So for example, for disabled, we'll be using 200, and maybe we'll have another disabled variant. So we'll duplicate this, and let's call this 200, and this one is going to be 100, and I will add a 100 here. So, and this one is going to be, yeah, it's pretty good. Or we can make it a little bit darker. Actually, I want to have another one because I think I might be using different shades. So I will duplicate it, and I'll call this one 300. And of course, I will pick the 300 over here. So maybe they're going to be like different things. So the text, we have the text, and then we'll have the information. So again, creating a variable. Information texts, these are things that going to be somewhere in, for example, notifications or something like that. So we'll create a new group, and we'll call it information, like this. And again, move it down. And for the information, we'll use the default color. Again, for now, I will use, I think it's going to be blue, and default is going to be 500. All right, so this is the default. And then we'll use success, warnings, and errors. So we need to add these groups as well. And let's create them. You can add as many as you want, but these are like the basics. I'm showing you the basics, so we're not like wasting a lot of time on this. And for the success, we'll be having, again, several colors. For success, we're going to be using our green token, and we'll have different ones. For example, default one is going to be 500, so we'll call it default. And then we'll have something else. So we'll duplicate this, and we'll add, for example, 700, and we'll call this one 700. So, and I want to duplicate it again, and we'll use something lighter just in case we need it. So it's going to be, I don't know, maybe 300. So this is going to be 300, and I'll move it over here on top. So we'll have like default, darker. So we can actually rename them, and default, light, and dark. Yeah, this is a good idea. Actually, in the information, we can also have this. Let's go to information again and paste it here. And like so. And we'll select the blue one for 300. And the darker blue 700 is going to be for the darker version, right? And default is 500. So this success. Let's create another color. We'll duplicate this. Oh, copy this, I'm sorry. We'll make a new group and we'll paste these colors here. This one we'll delete, and we'll call this group a warning. Well, for some warning messages, we'll have them on top right here. And for the warning, we'll be using orange. So we'll need to create a lighter orange, and then this is going to be our 300. For default, of course, we'll be using 500 orange, and for the darker, we'll be using 700 orange. Okay. Next, we need to create error, and for the error again, we need to create a new group, and this one is going to be error. It's going to be over here. We paste colors, and then we'll link them to red. Okay. And for the warning, we'll have 300. Default is going to be 500. And for the darker, we'll have the 700. Again, you can add as many as you want. It doesn't matter right now. For the buttons, we'll need to have them extra. So this is going to be actually, should be on the surface, right? So this is the surface. Or you can have like elements, different elements. So as we have different icons, let's create a new group, and we'll call it surface. So basically, surface is the thing that, for example, like backgrounds that you're using, any shades, whatever. Well, basically like a background and the main elements of your website or an app. So this is going to be my surface, and I'll move it down over here. And in the surface, we'll have such thing as background color, and actually we'll need to have a new group, and this group is going to be background. Oops. And in the background, we'll be having, of course, white, for example, default. And then we'll be having our primary, and we'll have secondary, and we'll have, for example, the button colors. Button on, and we'll duplicate it, and we'll call it button hover. We're not going to have a hover in the app, but you may have it on the website. And we need to have it disabled. All right. We'll create a collection, a new group, I mean, with this. And this group is going to be called buttons. Okay, so for the background, let's go back. For the background, primary, we'll have a really light one, just to have this kind of, you know, shade. Or actually, we can have a primary white. And for the, oops, hold on, I'm not using the right one. We need to go back to the neutrals and have the color white. And here for default, I will be using in the base, I'll be using this 100. So the primary is white, and the secondary, I want to have a darker red, just to have it, some interesting background, like for example 600. For the buttons, again, default one is going to be my red primary. So I will just look for red, and it's going to be 500. On hover, I will have red 600, and disabled, we're going to have neutrals that are going to be, for example, 100. And you remember we had a neutral color for the body again, or for disabled, so it was 300. So we need to check how it's going to look with the button with 100, and the text is going to be darker. So we should check it out, and we'll fix it later if we need. Then we need to create icon set. So we need to create a new variable again, and we'll need to create a group, and we'll call it icons. And these icons, they're gonna be like in separate group. And in these icons, we basically need to have the same thing as in text. So we'll have error, warning, success, information, and disabled. So we just can we can copy these things and duplicate groups, and we'll move them down here in the icons, okay, just to save some time. And we'll need to have like a default group for it. So it's going to be our properly red color, or for now it's really hard to say, but we need to change this again we'll need to remove the number 2. So we need to have another group, which is going to be our default. And we'll just copy it. Or we can call it default, or we can call them main, for example. And here we need to paste the colors that are going to be used for the icons that are not error messages, or they're not disabled or information. Yeah, so we need to figure out how they're going to look. For now, we can make them just black, just for sake of saving some time. So I go to neutrals, and I will pick black, and this is going to be my default color for the icons. And I can create another color, and for example it can be active, that we want to point out something, and I'll make them again red and 500 red. Just check that I have everything is fine here, that I'm connecting the right colors for all of these things. All right, great. So icons are ready. So you see we're kind of going faster now. Next, what we need to do, we need to create a new variable, of course, and we'll create a new group with it. And this group is going to be called borders. And for the borders, we need to understand what colors are we going to be using for the borders. And we'll have primary. So we need to create a new group here. and this is going to be our primary. Then we'll need to duplicate it, and this one is going to be secondary. And now we'll need to duplicate these ones as well, like disabled information, because probably we'll be using them as well. So I'll duplicate these groups just to save some time, and I'll move them down here. And of course, we'll need to remove the numbers. Okay, like so. For the primary, we can have, let's call it default. Yep. And for the primary default border, we can have something like, I don't know, for example, oops, not this one. We can have something like 200. And again, we can have darker or lighter. Basically, we can copy these ones as well from the neutral collection and use them. But again, you should understand what kind of colors they're going to be used for the primary. And for me, I want to have default, and also I want to have active. And yeah, that's it for now. And maybe, yeah, that's it. Let's use only two, and the active is going to be red. Again, 500 is fine. Okay. Yeah, and for the secondary, maybe we'll use something like a purple, and the purple is going to be 500 for the default. Or let's make it purple. It's not really our color scheme, so maybe again for the neutrals we'll be using I mean for the secondary in neutrals we'll be using, for example, black. Yeah, black is fine. And for the error, basically these should be the same. Okay, so these are the borders. And now I think with colors we're ready with coloring. With creating aliases for the color, and we have some groups inside, so let's check them out. So we have aliases, we have color for the text, for headings, for body. For headings, we can remove some of them. Again, we can remove, for example, I want to have 900 for the heading color, so or black, we'll save it. And also maybe I will have white, and I'll remove all of these. I guess yeah, let's remove these ones. So we'll only have white and black, and for the body we'll have 900, right? But we can always go for 800, for example, again here. For links, we have links, default and hover. They're red, so because our main color is red, so I believe in this situation, this design red color for the links is going to be nice. We have disabled. Also, we have text, which is error text. Well, again, it might be, it may not be good for the red to be, for the error to be red color, or for the links to be red because they're conflicting with error. So let's change them, and we'll have the link. For example, we didn't use purple, so let's create, for example, purple links. They're going to be like this, and for the hover of the link, we'll use 600. And also, we need to show the link that was used already, right? So this one is visited. This is really good for the website. So we'll change it to, for example, 400. Okay. Yeah, like this. So, we forgot this one. We forgot to remove it. So we have colors. Wait, hold on. Did I just delete icons? No, I have the icons here. All right, great. So I have the icons, I have borders. Great. Right, so this is for the color part. And now let's go to scaling. All right, now let's do some variables for scaling. Again, let's go to our variables. Let's go to base. And here in the base, we'll just add another variable, which is going to be a number, right? And now we need to create a new group. And this one is going to be called scale. And we'll just move it up right here so it's not inside of the color. So scale. And here in scale, we'll just create things like 0, and we'll duplicate it. Hold on. Yep, duplicate. And we'll have 1 here, and in the value, we'll also have 1. Duplicate again. Here it's going to be 2, and here 2 again. And now it's not going to be 3, guys. Oops. And now it's not going to be 3. It's going to be something else. It's going to be 4. Why 4? Because I'm using 8-point grid system, and I encourage you to use it as well. You can read more about it like somewhere in the internet. Just Google 8-point grid. So basically, all of the numbers that are used in my designs are divided by 8 or by 4. By 4 to make it easier to divide like smaller numbers. And I'll be using this system for basically everything in the design, for the sizes of my frames, for the sizes of my gaps, for outer layouts, and also for typography. And here I will make things like, the numbers, it's going to be 4, now it's going to be 8. Next I will add 12, so it's basically divided by 14 again, by 4, but still we need to have it. Sometimes we'll use 12. Next is going to be 16, and here's 16 as well. So next one is going to be 20. 20, and the next we'll duplicate it. It's going to be 24. Next, oops, oh, hold on. Next is going to be 28. Duplicate 32. Then it's going to be 40. And here I will have it 64 as the next one. So these are like pretty large numbers, and this one is going to be 80. And then I will have a 120. And the next one is going to be 160. And the next is 200. That's it. So these are the numbers that I'm going to be using. They're all divided by 4 or 8. And next we'll go to our aliases, and we'll create a new thing which is going to be called spacing. So we'll need to create a variable. It's going to be number, and we'll link it to a group, and this group is going to be called spacing. And I'll need to move it out of the color group. And it's going to be over here in the bottom. And for the spacing, I will be using such things as none. And I will link it to another variable. And you can see I have this little thing over here, apply variable. And I'll go to my base and I'll pick 0. And now it's connected. So this is the spacing 0. And now I will create another number, another variable. And this one is going to be SP4. It's just easier for me to remember that this is spacing 4. And I'll connect it to, again, base scale. And I'll pick number 4 here. Then I will use another number, and this one is going to be SP8. These things are going to be used, the spacing, basically for like gaps in outer layouts and paddings. I don't, like, for me, I don't need a lot of them, so basically I'll have only few, and maybe next one's going to be 16, for example. I can always add more if I need. So next one is going to be SP, oops, hold on, remember, SP 24. These are exactly divided by 8. 24. And another one. And this one is going to be 32. And I'll link it to a 32 from my base collection. And the last one is going to be SP40. SP40. Okay. Next, what I want to do, I want to create another number, and I'll create another collection. And it's going to be called radius. And for the radius, I'll again create none. And here I'll link it to my base 0. Basically, I want to copy these things again because they're going to be the same. And I'll just paste them here. I'll just rename it to RD. This is just easier for me to remember. This is going to be radius. And we'll have another variable over here, which is going to be radius 200. This is just the things like to create a really like circle shapes. So we'll create 200. All right, so this is ready. Here we need to have another group. So I'll create a group for this. I'll create a new number, and it's going to be called border. Oh, hold on. Just leave it this for now. I'll just create a new group selection, and this one is going to be called border. Actually, no, we have a little mistake that we have a border and radius inside of the spacing, but we need to have this spacing to be in another group. So it's going to be like spacing, border, and radius. There should be like in a separate group, all three of them. So what we need to do, we need to rename and to move them to another group. So I will just create a group. New group, rename spacing to sizes, for example, and this group is going to be called spacing. So this is the correct way to do it. So we have spacing, we have border, and we have radius. For border, we don't have anything else yet, but we need to have some numbers here, right? So I will just copy, for example, these three. I'll copy them and paste them to border. I'll remove this one. None is 0. Then I'll want to have a border in 1, and here I will just rename it to BR1, and this one is going to be BR2, and of course I will use 2 pixel. Basically, these are the only places where we'll be using 1 and 2, I believe. But still, this is good. So we have sizes, so we have spacing, we have radius, and we have border. And this is everything is an alias collection. So we have color and we have sizes here. The next step is going to be to add a typography collection. All right, so let's add some types. We'll go to variables again, and we'll go to base. And in the base, we want to add a thing which is called a string. So I'll add string, and I will add it to a new group, and this group is going to be called a type. And in type, we'll have another group, And this group is going to be called font weight. And in font weight, we'll have a regular. And here the string value is going to be regular. Then we'll duplicate it. And duplicate again. And here we'll have a semi-bold. And bold. Just copy and paste it here. So that's it. This is for the font weight. And we'll just duplicate this group and we'll call it font family. And in font family, we'll have just two fonts. This one is going to be body, and this one is going to be headings. For the body, for example, we'll be using Inter, and for the headings, we can use something else, and or you can use the same type for the headings. But in my case, for the headings, probably I will use. For example, like something like Poppins, I don't know. Or we can use the same thing. Let's leave it in Inter for the body and headings. So basically these things that we have right now in the base collection. This is the type. And now we'll need to do one more thing. We'll need to create a typography collection. Actually, it can be in the aliases if you want, or you can have it in a separate collection. It doesn't really matter. So I use it as a separate collection just to make it easier. So I will create a new collection. I will call it a typography. And here I will create a variable, which is going to be a number. And I will create a group. And this group will be called font size. And one more group inside. This group is going to be body. And here I will have 3 numbers for the body, as you may understand. So this is going to be my duplicate this. And for this one, we'll have something like small and medium and large. So you can call them like different names. It doesn't matter because it can be like captions or something like that. For the medium, we'll have a default value that we'll be using. And again, we need to connect it to our base. We go to base and we go to scale, and we'll be using 16 for the medium. And it's going to be like our default size for the text. For the small text, we'll be using, for example, 12. And for the large, again, we go to base scale. For the large, we'll be using 20. Okay, so this is like the body text. You can have this even smaller, like 8, but I don't recommend it because it's going to be really hard to read from the screens, especially on mobile. The next thing what we want to do, we want to have headings. So I will duplicate this group and I will call it headings. And in headings, we need to have something interesting here. We'll need to have the headings for the SEO, which are all the H's, H1, H2, H3, or 5, 6. For your project, you can use only 1, 2, 3, and this is what I'm going to be using right now. So I'll have H1, H2, and H3. And how do you get the actual numbers for the headings? Well, in my experience, I already know approximately what numbers I'll be using, but if you're just starting out and you're not sure how to get the numbers, I will show you a way to do it. So this is a service that I recommend you to use. There are like tons of them out there, but this is the easiest one, like Typescale. And here what we need to do, you can actually look how your types look at the website, at the landing page, for example, or a blog post. Well, I'll use the blog post, it's like easier. you'll see that H1 is like the main header on the website. Then you'll have like a small text, the P, which is the paragraph. Then you have H2, H3, and the rest. On the left side, you'll see our font size. This is the default font size. As you remember, we used 16, and now we'll use the scaling. And for the scaling, I recommend you to use major thirds. And here, for the major thirds, you'll see that we can pick the type, the font family. For the body, it's enter. We'll pick the weight. It's 500, like the main one. For the line height, it's going to be 1.6, which is fine. The color, it doesn't matter right now, and we'll see it in pixels, right? So we want to see the pixel sizes, and here you can see that you can see the scaling that starts from your body copy, from your body text, which is really important. It's 16, and you can see that it goes up to H6, H5, H4, and all of these things, and to get this right, basically you can see these numbers that are like 31.25. It's better to use clean numbers that are saying, for example, like 21 or 31 or 32. Here is 39.06. It's better to use 40, for example. Like, so these are like even numbers. Let's just make a screenshot of this. For us to remember, and I'll paste it to my Figma file, and it's going to be really easy to set up on the headings for the text. All right, so I have pasted it here, and now we can see the numbers, right? So H1 is the largest one. Now we can see it's 61 here. It shows 61, and what I want to do, I just want to find the closest number, and it's going to be 64 in our case. Then the H2, which is 48, well, we can use H2 as 48. Again, we don't have it, but again, we can add it, and I'll show you how to do it right now. We go to our base, we go to scale, and here we can create a new variable number, and it's going to be 48, and the number is going to be 48 as well. And now let's move it over here. Now we go back to our typography, to headings, and let's pick the 48 from our base collection. And for the H3, it recommends us doing it 40. Okay, so it's 39 point something. Well, we'll use 40 for that. So this is it. So we set up like 3 headings. We can add, again, we can add more just in case we need them. So let's add H4. And this one is going to be 32. So we'll go to our base, and this is going to be 32. Let's add another H5, and okay, let's do all of them, right? So we'll have H6 as well, and in the H6 it's 40. So we'll go to base. Oh, it's 20. I mean, I'm sorry. So it's 20, and for the H5, we'll link it to 25. So in our case, it's going to be 24 or 26, or 24 or 28. Well, I think 24 is all right for the H5. So we have it set up. So we have a body sizes, medium, small, and large, and we have our headings as well. Next thing, what we want to do, we want to create a line height for everything here, right? This is like we're going really deep. You don't need to do this in all of your projects, but you may need it. So let's duplicate this. So we'll duplicate this group, and we'll rename it to line height. And in line height, we go to body, and the idea is how you can find the line height, right? As you remember, in our sample, in our website, we used 1.6, right? So we'll use 1.6 here as well. So for the line height here, we'll need to pick the number, right? So for the body, it's going to be 1.6. We don't have it here. Well, we'll need to add this variable. And actually, we can already check how this looks. So this is the body here, right? And we can, what we can do, we can pick the 16, right? And for the line height, we can see that if I click here, we can see the line height, right? In pixels. So we'll use that number, we'll use this value. So we're not going into like rems or ems or percentage. We'll use just the numbers. So for example, if our text body copy is 16, we'll probably use something like, I don't know, this one looks good, like 24, right? So I'll use 24 for it as well. If our size for the text is 12, really small, right? And I will use something like 20 for the line height. So I'll pick 20 for the line height. And if our body copy is 20, we'll use something like 28 for the line height. Okay, this is set up. Okay, let's see headings. Let's go to headings. And let's start with the smallest one, which is 20. And for the heading, this is going to be probably 24. Okay, it's fine. So this is the smallest one. So for the line height, we'll use 24 over here. Then for the H5, so we'll change it to 24 here. So it's going to be 24. And the line height should be larger, right? So maybe 32. Yeah. So we'll use 32 for this, or even 28. Let's see. No, 32 is better. Actually, you can do it mathematically. You can figure it out, but I'll do it just like this. It's easier, and I believe it looks fine. But you can use other apps, for example, like the one that I showed you, like the website, and they will show you a proper way to do it mathematically. But I think for now we'll just use it in this way. So this one is going to be 40. And for the H3, which is 40, the types, the size of the letters is 40. So for the line height, maybe it's going to be 48 or something like that. Yep. 48. Then 48 for H2. And here we'll have it maybe 56 or 54. Yeah, I kind of like 52. So we don't have it here. Let's see how it looks with 64. Well, not so good, right? So I guess maybe we can add another number like 52. So we'll go back to the base and we'll go to scale and we'll add a number which is going to be 52. And we'll add it right here. Okay, and it's going to be 52. Now we go back to typography. And here for the H2, we'll use 52. And for the H1, which is 64 value, we'll use something like, yeah, maybe 64 is fine. Like it's really large heading, so we'll use 64 for it as well, for the line height. All right, so this is ready. So basically we can check how it looks. It looks fine. The next thing, what we need to do here, we need to have a paragraph spacing. And again, we'll need to copy, duplicate this group, and we'll call it paragraph spacing. Like this. And again, we'll have small, and headings are going to be like this. So how to see how it's going to look, we just pick this text right here. Let's just like lorem ipsum. We'll have it, for example, we have 20 right now, right? And we go to these settings of the text, and we'll pick the paragraph spacing over here. You see it's 0 right now, and we just move it like this, and we can add paragraph spacing, and maybe we can use something like 16 for the large body, right? So we'll use 16 For the medium, the text should be 16. Oh no, it's line height. Oh no, it's 16 for the font size, and for the line height, let me check. For the line height, we had 24, right? So here it's going to be 24. And now we need to see how it looks. Well, we'll move it down a little bit, so we'll probably will have like 8 or even 12. Let's see. Yeah, 12 I think is good. So we'll pick 12. And for the small ones, I guess it's going to be 8. So let's just pick. For the line height, I don't remember. We had the small 20 and body was 12. Let's check it out. So we have body 12, and for the line height it was 20, and now we can see the 12 is really big, right? So we'll use 8 for the line for the paragraph spacing, which is here already set up, so 8 is fine. Same thing we need to do with headings. So we'll just copy this heading and paste it here by enter. Yep. And we can check out how it looks. So basically this one is 64 by 64, so this is for H1, and here we'll need to have it, for example, 32, I believe is fine, so we'll pick 32 right here. For the H2, its size is 48, and for the line height, it should be 52, right? 52. And paragraph spacing should be smaller, maybe 24. Okay, so we go to paragraph spacing to 24 right here. Okay, and now for the H3, we have 40 for the size, and we'll have our line height for the H3 was 48. So we'll change it to 48 right here. And for the spacing, I don't know, maybe 16 is fine. Yeah, so for the H2 is 16. Yep, so that's it. So basically this is the way to do it. Again, I'm not sure that I'll be using H4, H3, but we'll see how it goes. So basically this is 32 for the line height, right? So we'll see. But for now, I'll probably leave it at H1, H3. So I'm not going to be doing this right now. So I'll just delete them. And if I need these variables, I will finish them later. But for now, I'm not going to be using them at all. So I'll just delete it for now. All right, so finally everything is set up in terms of our variables, our design tokens, and let's see how it works. Let's see it in action. What I want to do, I want to create like a button. So I'll just create a text and I call it a button. Yep, and I'll create auto layout out of it. So I press Shift 8, right? Now I want to create a color for it. So what I want to do, I want to go to my right section, and I'll use fill. And in fill, I will go to libraries, and here I will look at my primary colors and my aliases, and here I will find something like button, right? You remember we had the button, so I'll look for buttons. Yeah, and here's my surface button, so I'll use red. Now what I want to do, I want to create some paddings inside. So I'll use variables for the paddings, and these are spacing. You see aliases, spacing, and radius, right? So I will use spacing, for example, 24 for left and right, and for bottom, top and bottom, I will use 16. All right, or even larger. I can use another 24. I can use like 40, like this. But we don't remember what kind of the size of the text this is. For the button, it's 32. It's pretty big. Let's change it to something smaller. So what I want to do, I want to change the size of the of the text inside of the button. So I go to my variables here, and what I want to do here, so I'll need to find the type. So I will go to aliases, and I'll need to go to typography, and I'll need to find my body size, and I'll use medium 16 right here. You see, and now it looks really strange, right? Because we have the line height wrong. So I will use apply variables. Again, I will go to my line height, and here's the line height for body. And you remember we used medium for the text size, so I'll use medium here again. And now we can see that it looks pretty strange, right? So it looks like really small. Oh, the text is small, and the paddings are quite big. So now I can go back and change the paddings to 24, and on top and bottom we can use 8, for example. And now I can even change the radius to something like 8. Again, going back to my text inside of the button, and now I want to change it to color. And you can see the color, text headings, color body. We can add different things, like we can also add aliases for text inside of the buttons, but for now I'll just use color text body white. That's it. So this is the button right here. This is like a default button, right? And what I want to do, I want to make a component out of it, of course. So I'll just right click on it, or I can go right here on the top, on the right, and create a component. So now this is a component, and what I want to do, I want to create another variant of this component. So I click here, and this is going to be my default. It's right here, default, and this is going to be my, for example, hover, right? Hover. And remember, we made as extra color for the hover. So I'll click here with the fill, and you see we have a button hover, and that's it. So these are things that are ready. This is just a small example, right? What we want to do with the text again, we want to create the different headings. So this is going to be my, for example, H1 or H2 and H3. So I will pick the first one, and I will we need to make styles because currently we don't have any styles here. But before that, we need to create a variable, and we'll need to find headings. And font size for headings is going to be H1. Then we need to find line height for the headings, H1. And again, we need to do for the spacing. We'll need to find the paragraph spacing. So paragraph spacing for the headings, H1, right? So this is ready. So this is going to be my H1. This is it's set up. So, and the color, again, for the color we need to find the color for the headings. So I put headings, color, you see text color headings, we'll use black. All right, so this is set up, and we need to create a style. So we create a new style, we'll call it H1, and we can see like different options here. And again, we can use variables for this, for the font. You remember we were making font weight and font family. So font family is for headings is enter. It's the same as body in our case. So I'll pick headings for enter. And for regular, again, I want to create a variable. So I will go to apply variables for the regular. And again, we need to find our font weight. And this is going to be bold or semi-bold or regular. So I'll use a semi-bold. So this is semi-bold for my heading for H1. Or again, I can go for bold, and I can do it like this. All right. And now what I want to do, I want to create a style, right? So this is all set up, and this is going to be my style H1, and I will click create style. All right, create style, and I will have it over here. And now I will apply it to everything inside of my website or an application. So basically, this is what we can do for H2, H3, and the rest. And of course, for the body, again, I will just pick the font family for the body. I will pick the variable for the body here. Again, we'll pick the type, font weight regular. Then I will create a variable for the type. So, oops. Here is fonts, font size, body medium, and here we'll use, oops, for my line height medium for body, and for paragraph spacing, again, I will use paragraph spacing body medium. All right, and now I can create a style, and it's going to be my paragraph, or just P. I can call it P, and everything is linked here. So I'll create a P, and this is my style for my which is going to be used for my body copy. So these are the basics that you can do, and you can scale up this design system in any way you want. Basically, you can add different fonts, different colors, whatever. You can apply them to your components that are going to be used inside of your design. It may look really long at the beginning that we were setting it up, but again, remember that at the end, it will make your life so much easier that you're not going to be like looking for ways to, you're not going to be thinking what kind of size that I should use, what kind of color I should be using for this or that element. So these things are essential for any design. I hope you liked this video, and I hope it was useful for you. Please in the comments below tell me about your design systems, how you build them, and maybe you have any questions, please comment below. And please don't forget to like the video if you like it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.